Hey guys, you're here with Quicksand Rigs, and today we're going to be doing a quick guide on what to expect from certain dungeon boss mechanics. So without further ado, let's sink in to Dzemael Darkhold. The first boss you'll encounter inside of this dungeon is the All-Seeing Eye. Once you engage him, you'll no doubt notice these glowing crystals spread throughout the room. When you're within the glow radius of the crystals, the damage you take will be reduced. Every 15 seconds, the All-Seeing Eye will do a group-wide damaging ability called Eyes on Me that can deal very heavy damage to your party. However, being near the crystals and having the Crystal Veil buff will drastically reduce the damage dealt from Eyes on Me. The All-Seeing Eye will also be invulnerable unless he is within the glow of the crystals as well. So it's important to note, although you might think you have him close enough, to keep an eye on his buffs and make sure that he does not currently have invulnerability while you're fighting him. Every 60 seconds in the fight, the set of crystals that's glowing will change. The game will give you a 15-second warning of this by telling you that the crystals you're near are beginning to dim. As soon as this message has popped up, you can look around the room for another set of crystals that are glowing. This will give your group about 15 seconds to move from the set of crystals you're at to the new one, trying to avoid Eyes on Me proccing in this transition phase. Once the boss is around 75 and 55% health, he will spawn a set of 2 adds. These adds are fairly weak and don't pose much threat, but you still want to drop them as quick as possible so they do not build up on you. Keep in mind that having the Crystal Veil buff on you reduces damage from all sources including the adds, so it's important for your tank to stay within the glow radius of the crystals at all times. At 35 and 15% health, he will summon sets of 2 adds again. However, these adds will do a cone knockback attack, so they pose a little bit more threat. If they catch you with the knockback and knock you outside of the glow radius of the crystals, Eyes on Me could proc on you, possibly leading to death. So these adds are a little more important to burn down. The second boss inside the dungeon is Taulard. This giant ogre has a few AoE attacks you want to avoid, and upon reaching 90% health, he'll summon 4 adds on the upper ledges of the room. These adds cannot be attacked or taunted, and each one will be assigned to a different player in your party. They will alternate between a 45-second phase of throwing a single target boulder that is not dodgeable at each member, and then they'll rotate to a 45-second phase of a ground target AoE fire attack. In this fight, you want to attempt to get as much damage as you can done during their single target phase that cannot be dodged, and then you'll be running around the room a lot more during the ground target phase, avoiding the fire damage. The last boss inside this dungeon is called Batraal. At 90% health, Batraal will work his way back to the center of the room and become invulnerable, linking himself to one of the nearby crystals with a purple beam. Your group needs to move to this crystal and destroy it in order to make Batraal vulnerable again. During this phase, he'll select one player at random and cast Desolation on them 3 times in a row. Desolation will be a high damage beam attack that will hit everything in its path. It's important that if you get targeted by Batraal, that you do not aim Desolation at the rest of the party while they're trying to destroy the crystal. Try and move yourself slightly away from the party and avoid it on your own. Batraal will link himself to a new crystal when he gets close to 60% and 30% health. Once you've destroyed the 3rd crystal he does, he will cast Fury upon himself and increase his damage output. Right after gaining Fury, he will fire Desolation at one of your party members and spawn a purple AoE called Void Pitch underneath the other 3 players' feet. Be sure you get outside of Void Pitch's AoE and don't run into someone else's Void Pitch, because they will cause high damage to anyone caught in them. Batraal will repeat Desolation and Void Pitch every 30 seconds he's alive until you've killed him. Alright guys, there's your quick guide to the dungeon Dzemael Darkhold inside Final Fantasy XIV. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.